Yeah. About myself. First, before recording the session, I'll introduce myself as well. I'm working as a DevOps engineer with 4+ years of experience in one of the fintech product-based organization, and also I'm a certified AWS Solution Architect Associate. So yeah, this is about my brief intro. And coming to the syllabus, I'll guide you people for preparing the AWS Cloud Practitioner certificate. So in that I've divided syllabus into 5 parts. One is computing part, another one is security part, third part is storage, fourth part is networking part, and fifth part is monitoring part. So I've divided into 5 parts. So we'll cover each and every part as a part of this training. Yeah, and I hope everyone knows how to create AWS account and all. I think no need to brief me about that as well, right? So I'll directly start from computing part as well. So before that,
Some of them,
yeah,
yes,
sure.
sir, some of them don't know how to create the AWS account. If we can go step by step, it will be helpful.
Okay, okay, okay. Then I'll share my screen. 1 second. Yeah, simply first we need to check for AWS account creation. So yeah, we'll get this URL and we should go into this thing, and here we should click create AWS account, and then it will ask for your details and all, along with also it will ask for verifying your credit card as well. So previously it used to accept both debit cards as well as credit cards. Nowadays AWS is accepting only credit cards. So we need to provide our credit card details as well. For that, verifying your identity, it will deduct 2 rupees. And later, once identity is verified, again, it will refund the amount, whatever it is deducted. I mean, 2 rupees. So next part is once AWS account is created, you will get a root account access. Root account is nothing but super account for this AWS account. So that root account has complete control over your AWS account. So that's how you are going to create the AWS account. It's simple and straightforward steps. Only you need to follow the instructions provided by AWS. That's how we are going to create the AWS account. And yeah, before that, Vishal, now I'll start recording the session so that we'll proceed. Okay, it's already recording. Coming to the next thing, why do we want to learn AWS? Why instead of learning Azure and GCP? Since why? Because AWS is captured most of the market in the current world. So it's like almost 60% of the market is captured by AWS, and it has huge community support, and also it has wide range of documents. Like it has very good community support along with documentation as well. So because of that, these are all the reasons. As a freshers are who are is going to learn the cloud technology. So most of the people will suggest them to learn start with AWS. So because of these reasons, everyone will suggest to start with AWS. So yeah, and coming to the AWS, once you created your AWS account and then once you log into the console, you will console will look like this. Yeah. This is how console will appear once you log in into the AWS account. I mean AWS console. So yeah, this is AWS console home, and top right corner you can see, right, user, whatever the user you have logged in. Here you are able to see, here I'm able to see that I have logged in as a Eduwise admin. That's the one thing. And one more thing, here you are able to see regions and local zones. Even we call it as availability zones as well. Regions is nothing but, yeah, regions is nothing but geographical areas where AWS has its own data centers. Right? Regions is nothing but physical, geological area where AWS has its own data center. Inside AWS regions, it contains multiple availability zones. Availability zone is nothing but one or more physical data centers within the region. I'll tell you. See, let's assume this is one region. So inside region, there are n number of availability zones. Availability zone 1, availability zone 2, AZ1, AZ2. AZ1 is nothing but one physical data center. AZ2 is nothing but another physical data center. This is called availability zones in the AWS. Right? I think you people got a brief idea about what is regions and AWS. Right now, AWS has n number of regions and availability zones. I'll show that as well. See, here you can see, right? Right now, since we are staying at India, our very close region is Asia Pacific. At Asia Pacific, you can see two regions. Asia Pacific, Hyderabad region. See, Hyderabad region. Hyderabad region has 3 availability zones. And Mumbai region. One more thing is called Mumbai region. Mumbai region is also has 3 availability zones. So, as I mentioned, availability zones is nothing but physical data centers within the one geological area. Meaning Mumbai has 3 different physical data centers and Hyderabad has 3 different physical data centers within it. Yeah, I think this is brief idea about regions and availability zones. And one more thing, why regions and availability zones is required? First thing is, let's assume we are staying at Hyderabad or Bangalore and our data center is, we have deployed our application at North Virginia, US East one. So in such case, whenever we request to open any application, that request has to travel all the way through internet to North Virginia. So to travel request from India to North Virginia, it will take some specific amount of time, right? So, there will be a latency. Latency is nothing but time required to reach the application and response time. So whenever you request any application from Bangalore to North Virginia, it will take some extra time. So that means there will be a high latency. In case instead of deploying our application at North Virginia, if we have deployed at Hyderabad or Mumbai regions, and once we access our application from the Bangalore region, in such case, there will be a less latency compared to North Virginia region. That's the one thing. And one more thing is, since it has each region has multiple availability zones, we will make n number of copies of our servers, databases, and all. So because of that, it will be very helpful in disaster recovery as well. Disaster recovery is nothing but in any main server got failed. So we used to regularly take backup of particular servers and keep it in the another availability zones. So from that copies, we are going to restore our services. That's the one thing. And yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, global application deployment as well. Since we are going to deploy our application in multiple regions, uh, those ever who are the end users accessing our application from India. So for them, we are going to deploy our application in Hyderabad region and Mumbai region, and those ever who are accessing from other regions like US. For them, we are going to deploy our application to their closest region. So that's how regions and availability zones works. I think that's enough about regions and availability zones. Let's move on with the AWS console tour. So this is the AWS console. Once you logged into your AWS account, you are able to see this screen. So here you can search for all the AWS services. Usually AWS has more than 200 plus services in it. So it is not necessary to learn all the services, but whatever the service we are going to learn, we have to be master about those services. That's more than enough for attending the cloud practitioner certificates. Yeah. We can click here. If we click here, we can see see n number of services. Compute. You can see here EC2 image builder, Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk is used for serverless computing. Like this, see, also you can look for database. Here you can see n number of RDS database, Aurora and RDS, Aurora DSQL, Amazon Document DB, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache. You are able to see n number of services by clicking this. So yeah, this is the one thing. And as I mentioned earlier, these are all the regions. So by default, when you logged into your AWS account, your default region will be North Virginia. See, your default region will be North Virginia. Since our geological location is very close to Hyderabad and Mumbai region, based on that, we need to choose the region. In my case, I'll choose Hyderabad. I mean AP South 2. Yeah. This is the region. In this region, I'm going to configure and set up all our AWS services. So this is about regions and availability zones. Then coming to the next services, as I mentioned earlier, we'll go with first thing is computing services. In computing services, first thing is EC2. Simply here we need to search for EC2. If required, you can add it to the favorites as well. Simply you need to click here. If you click here, see, EC2 is added here. It's like a shortcut. So whenever you want, you can open this EC2 console. So yeah. So before proceeding with launching the actual EC2 server, let me clarify what is EC2. EC2. Oh, sorry. EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Computing. Here, Elastic is nothing but it can grow. Server size can grow as per our requirement. That is the meaning of Elastic. Cloud computing means we are not providing any physical servers here. We are actually accessing the virtual servers from somewhere else. So before virtual servers, what usually happens like previously, like 5 to 10 years back, all companies has its own data centers within the office premises. In the data centers, they are going to create multiple physical servers. Like if data center, like let's assume this is the data center. and it has n number of servers, 1, 2, 3, like this. They have n number of servers. And let's assume for us, only 10 servers are required. Our physical data center has 100 servers, but for our application development and deployment, we require only 10 servers. So in such case, 90 servers are remain in idle state, right? So so for that, we need to spend some extra amount for managing the data center, and those servers are not in use for their management. Also, we need to spend certain amount and all. To avoid all those things, virtual servers will come into picture. In case of AWS, yeah, here EC2 is nothing but virtual servers. In case of AWS, price model is goes as pay as you go. Pay as you go. Whatever the servers you are going to use, for those servers only you are going to pay. See, in our case, in case of physical servers, which is completely hosted in the at company premises, we need to pay for this complete physical server, irrespective of whether we are using servers within it or not. We need to pay all for the complete things. In case of AWS, if we use 10 servers, then we need to pay only for 10 servers. No need to pay remaining 90 servers, which are in idle state. So because of this model, pay as you go model only, AWS got very famous. That's the one thing. And yeah, now we'll proceed with uh, launching the AWS EC2 server. So as I mentioned, once you search for EC2, you'll get here. If required, you can add it into favorite tabs. And then if you open it here, it will look like this. So here you can see dashboard, instances, instance types, launch templates, spot requests. There are many options available. First, I'll launch one EC2 instance. First, I will launch one EC2 instance, and then I will explain about all these options. So first thing, once you enter into the EC2 console, here you can see, right, launch instance. Click on this one, launch instance, get started. We can, yeah, I'm skipping these steps, launch without walkthrough. So for my server, I need to give one name. Right now, I'll give it as Eduwise web server. I will name my server as Eduwise web server, and here I need to choose number of instances required. If you want to spin up 2 servers, you need to choose 2. See, 2, whatever number you want, you can choose it. Right now, I will launch only one server. And then coming to the next step, here you can see, right, OS images. In case of AWS, we will call it as AMIs. AMI is nothing but Amazon Machine Images. Like how we are using in our case, in our physical laptops, in most of the cases, we will use Windows OS, right? Like that, Amazon provided n number of AMIs. Those AMIs you can see here: Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE, Debian. There are n number of OS images. So we need to choose the required Amazon machine image. Right now, for my web server, I'll choose Ubuntu as my AMI. Once you choose AMI, again, see, right now it AMI. Here it will show the AMI version as well. Like here you can see Ubuntu server 26004 LTS. LTS is nothing but long-term support. So it's 26 version is launched very recently. before that, we used to work on, in most of the cases, we used to work on 24.04 LTS version. So yeah, one more thing here, you can see this free tier eligible, right? Since we have created AWS account with free tier, almost it's suggested to choose only free tier eligible AMI images, so that no need to pay for there won't be any additional costs for this AMIs. Yeah, I chosen Ubuntu, and Ubuntu version also I chosen. Here it's clearly telling it's free tier eligible. And then coming to the next point, here I'm choosing instance type. Here you can see, right? Right now it's chosen as T3.micro. Here as well you can see T3 micro, T3 small. Here I'll explain here. Uh, There you can see T3.micro, right? T is nothing but family. Three is generation. And micro. Micro is nothing but size, compute size. You can see, right? T is nothing but family. 3 is generation. Previously, I think 4 to 5 years back, AWS has provided T2.micro. Means this is older generation. Now 3 is the latest generation, and micro is the compute size. Here you can see, right? T3 family, it has T3 micro has 2 CPUs and 1 GB memory. That's how we'll choose. Almost while practicing, it's I suggested to choose only free tier instance types. Right now, they're providing only a limited number of free tier options like T3 micro, T3 small, C7i flex large, and M7i flex large. Apart from this, you can see all other options are disabled, meaning these are all not eligible for free tier applications. I mean, free tier instances. So I'll choose T3 micro only. And then coming to the next point, it's a key pair. Key pair is nothing but one private key. So usually how we will log into the server is like, we will use username and password, right? AWS by default disable that option for the security reasons. Always we need to use the key pair. Instead of using username and password, user and password, AWS disabled this option itself, so that we need to use always username and private key. Private key. So for the security reasons, AWS has disabled this option. So we need to proceed with this option. Private key consists of two things. One is public key and another one is private key. So it will be in the form of .pem file. Whatever the server we are going to create, in that server consists of private key, public key, and private key will be downloaded to your local laptop. Using private key, we are going to connect to that particular server. Whatever the server we are going to launch right now, we are going to connect to that particular server using private key. So now I will create one new key pair. Key pair name will be Eduwise web servers. You can give whatever you want. And here, key pair type, always we need to choose RSA, and private key file format will be PEM only. So once you have provided your key pair name and we need to choose PEM and RSA. Then we need to create the key pair. See, it's downloaded. Key pair is downloaded in the form of .pem file. So later, it's related to network sections. I'll discuss about these network sections in later part. Right now, I will allow all traffic. And coming to the next part, storage part. Right now, I will provide only 8 GB of storage to our particular server, and then I will launch the instance. See, Eduwise web server is launched. Instance state is in running state. Status checks you can see, right? Still, it's in initializing state. It will check for 3 different status checks. Once all status checks are passed, then server is available for using And here you can see AP South 2B. This is availability zone. In our case, we are using Hyderabad region. Hyderabad region is nothing but AP South 2. Hyderabad region includes 3 availability zones, that is AP South 2A, 2B and 2C. Our web server is spinned up at 2B availability zones. Yeah, once you select this or click on this instance ID, you are able to see the public IP address of the web server and private IP address of that particular web server. Why both public and private IP addresses are required? If you want to connect your server via internet, in such case, public IP is required. And if you want to connect to that server from the same network, in such case, we will use the private network. Let me explain in the whiteboard as well. So, yeah, this is AWS. And here I have configured one EC2 server. This is my laptop. From my laptop, I am connecting to this EC2 server. This AWS is in different network. My laptop has different network. In such case, to connect from my laptop to EC2 instance, we require public IP address of the EC2. Public IP address of the EC2. Let's assume AWS has 2 EC2 servers, EC2 1 and another EC2 2 server. So from this server 1 to server 2, I need to connect. In such case, public IP is not required. Using private IP, we can connect from this server 1 to server 2. Why? Because both are in the same network. Because of that, here public IP is not required. We can connect from server 1 to server 2 using private IP address. Yeah, in our case, right now, we are trying to connect from our local laptop to EC2 server. This request is traveled through internet. So to travel through internet, we require public IP address. Because of that, here you can see our instance has both public IP address as well as private IP address. Now we have configured one web server. For that server, it has public IP address as well as private IP address, and also we have provided 8 GB of storage as well. And now we need to connect to that particular server using private key. Private key is nothing but we have already downloaded that PEM file, right? So that using that we can connect to our web server. So for that, we can use n number of things. First thing is we can use putty, mobile extram, or else if you using CMD command prompt as well, we can connect. So I will give a demo on how to connect using mobile extram. Yeah, I'll share my mobile extram as well. Now I'll launch this mobile extram. Second. Yes, I. So looks like it's in some trouble. What we can do, like right now, we will directly connect from AWS console. I'll also show you how to connect to this server from mobile extram as well. Right now, for the time being, we can connect directly from the AWS console as well. So for that, what we need to do, like, so whatever the server you need to connect, first you need to choose that server, and then here you need to click connect. Once you connect, here you can see two options, right? In web server and SSH client. So we are directly connecting from the AWS browser, and we are not using PEM file to connect. So for that, we need to choose web browser and EC2 instance connect. And here we have chosen IPv4 only. And always we have chosen Ubuntu AMI. Because of that, our username, by default username, will be Ubuntu only. In case if you choose Amazon Linux, in that case username will be Amazon EC2. So now in our case we have chosen Ubuntu as AMI. So because of that, our username will be Ubuntu only. We will connect to this particular server. We need to click on that connect. See, now we have connected to that server. This is how we are going to launch the EC2 instance. I think I hope it's clear to everyone. So in that, whatever the operations we want, we can perform on this particular server. So like, let's assume I need to configure this. One second. Let's assume I need to configure Apache server in that my particular Ubuntu server. So in such case, we can configure that as well. So once you logged into the web server, first you need to update the apt repository. For that, we need to run sudo apt update-y. So now it's updating all its repository. Once it is done, we can start proceeding with configuring the Apache server. So for that, what I will do, like I'll prepare one shell script. Then I am going to run that shell script. For that, I'll run sudo vim apache2.sh. I'm going to paste this my content. Here you can see first I'm using this shebang line, and then I'm updating the repository, installing the Apache 2, and in the web page I'm updating to show host name and IP address. That's what I'm doing. Now I'm changing this file into executable mode. Okay. Now I'm going to execute this Apache 2.sh shell script. Apache is configured successfully. Now we can access the Apache. So how to access means, for that first we should have the public IP address of that particular instance. See, I'll copy this public IP address. Apache will run on port 80. See, you are able to see these details. I have deployed this HTML file. Our host name IP is this one. That thing you can verify here as well. See, private IP address IP 172.31.45.255. Same thing you can verify here. Yeah. That's how we are going to configure the EC2 servers. And also I have shown one simple web application called Apache Web Server. How to configure the Apache Web Server using shell script. This is the basic stuff I wanted to explain you people. So then coming to the next point. Yeah. Now we know that how to configure the servers, EC2 servers. And I'll walk you through about these options. Yeah, there are mainly 4 types of EC2 instances are available. One second. Like now I wanted to explain you people about purchasing uh, options of EC2 servers. There are mainly 4 options available. One is on-demand servers. On-demand servers. Second one is spot instances. Third one is reserved hosts. And fourth one is this is reserved servers. And fourth one is dedicated host. First one, on-demand servers. So just now, whatever the server we launched, right? This server, this is called on-demand servers. So whenever you are going to spin off any EC2 server, by default, server type will be on-demand server only. So spot instance is nothing but, as I explained you earlier, with our physical data center, let's assume we have 100 servers. In that we have used only 10 servers. In that so that 90 servers are still in idle state, right? Instead of keeping those servers in idle state, we can sell those servers to some other who required those servers with a lesser cost compared to on-demand servers. Using spot instances, so AWS will sell the unused servers to the requested peoples. So that's how spot instances works. Third one is reserved servers. Reserved servers is nothing but, we know that we are going to use that server at least for 1 to 3 years. we are not going to discard that server, or we are not going to terminate that server at any cost. We want this server for at least 1 to 3 years. In such case, we will go with reserved servers. And the fourth one is dedicated host. Dedicated host is nothing but we also know the physical, we should know the exact location of the physical server as well. See, in that physical server, we are going to spin up the multiple EC2 instances. In case of dedicated host, we should know this physical server location only. So we are going to reserve this complete physical server. In that server, we are going to spin up the EC2 servers based on our requirement. So where exactly we will use this dedicated hosts is nothing but in highly security environments like banking applications. Uh, Banking applications, most of the times they will go with this reserved hosts as well. I mean, sorry, with a dedicated host, they'll go with dedicated host so that they will have complete command over their servers. So these are all the four purchasing options of the EC2 instances. Then then we'll proceed with comparing the cost as well. So as compared to cost, spot instance. First one is spot instance. AWS will provide up to 90% discount to the spot instances. Then after spot instances, second one is reserved servers. In case of reserved servers, AWS will provide up to 50 to 60% of the discount by comparing to the on-demand servers. Same in case of spot instances as well. While compared to on-demand servers, in case of spot instances, AWS will provide discount up to 90%. Then coming to the third one, on-demand servers. In case of on-demand servers, AWS won't provide any discounts here. No discounts. And coming to the last option, dedicated host. In case of dedicated hosts, there will be a high cost compared to all other three options. Why? Because in case of dedicated host, they will provide one complete physical server to us. So because of there is a high cost compared to all other options. So this is how pricing models will work in the AWS. I have explained about four options, I mean in purchasing options in EC2 servers as well. And then coming back to the one more topic, in the AWS, right, while spinning up the EC2 instance, we have chosen it as a, I'll show one more time, we have chosen it as server 2. We have chosen Ubuntu as our AMI and instance type. Previously, we have chosen it as T3. T3 like T, we can see n number of series. Like T3, T, you can see C, M, there are C, you can see all these options, right? So I will explain about what exactly T, M, and C are. So first thing, M and T series. M and T series are, these two series will be used for general purpose. M and T series both will be used for the general purpose. Next one is C series. C series is used for compute optimization purpose. C series is used for compute optimization purpose. And coming to the next option, R series. R series is used for memory optimization purpose. R series is used for memory optimization purpose. And I series. I series is used for storage optimized purpose. I will explain in detail what is storage optimization, memory optimization, compute optimization in future classes. So yeah, right now we have configured one web server. So for that web server is used for general purpose, right? Because of that, we have choose T series. So this is how different types of EC2 instances are available. I have explained about purchase options as well as uh, different types of EC2 instances as well. In the tomorrow's class, I mean in coming classes, I'll explain about launch templates, AMIs, how to create AMI, volume snapshots and all I will explain. And then we will move on to the networking part. In networking part, first I will explain about what is virtual private network. In that private network, I'll explain about these security groups, elastic IPs, placement groups, key pairs. I'll explain about all these things. I think for today it's enough. For the day it's done.